Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Well, as you all know, the Avensis recently clocked 300,000 kilometers and keeps being a very reliable workhorse. Unfortunately, a few days ago, I noticed the engine wasn't revving beyond 5,000 RPM. It seemed like there was some kind of fuel cut at around 5,000 RPM. So in this video, I'm going to be checking out the fuel sending unit. Let's dive right in. There's an access point to the fuel tank under the rear passenger bench. So right now I'm taking off the carpet to access it. So now we have that panel on there. So I'll carefully move the trims apart then. The panel is held on using some kind of glue. So I'm carefully prying off with my hands. You don't really need any tool for this. So once it's off, don't yank the panel off because you need to disconnect the electrical connection. So that's what I'm doing right here. Just this small tab. Once you depress it, and then you pull the connector out. So once that's done, you set the panel apart like I just did. And then to relieve any pressure in the system, I'm going to go to the driver's seat and crank the engine over a couple of times so that I ensure that there's no residual pressure left. Obviously, because the fuel sending unit is disconnected, our fuel gauge is not going to indicate any fuel present in the vehicle. Back at the sending unit, observing the plug, simple connection over there for basically the fuel level sensor and then the electronic fuel pump. As we can see, there's a lot of dirt on the whole sending unit and we don't want that getting into the tank. So using a damp microfiber cloth, I'm now wiping everything down thoroughly so that I don't have any dirt getting into the tank. So after doing that carefully, especially the edges and surroundings, then I'll proceed to loosening the fuel sending unit and taking it out. This is a very important step that should not be missed. So with that out of the way, using a 19mm and a 40mm wrench, I'm going to loosen the fuel line right here. Be careful not to break anything. It can be on there quite tight. So once it's broken free, you can easily spin off the nuts using your hand. Shouldn't be tight on there. So once that is done, I had some gasoline trickling out, so using one of my fingers blocked the hole while I took out the 8mm bolts. There are about 10 of them. So I used my 1/4-inch ratchet and a deep socket, 8mm in size, to get them off. So that's what's going on right here. So with all of them out, I moved the fuel line out of the way and carefully lifted the unit out, paying attention to the fuel level float and not to get anything broken. Unfortunately, I had a lot of gasoline in the car, about 3/4 tank, and I felt I just had to replace the fuel pump, so I didn't bother getting my gasoline down in the vehicle. So with out of the way, here's the fuel sending unit. That's the fuel level sensor on the side with the float. That's what tells you the amount of gasoline that is present in the vehicle. That round part is the fuel pressure regulator. And then we have a filter for it down there. That's what I'm showing right here. The fuel level sensor again. So here's the fuel pump strainer. That's the part where gasoline gets sucked into the fuel pump right there. Before going ahead, I decided to inspect the inner portion of the tank. So here we are. I noticed a lot of sediment around the fuel sending unit area, lots of grit, and obviously it's not smart to install a new pump with all that grit in the system. So I'll need to clean inside the tank, and this kind of job is best done with very little gasoline in the tank to prevent having to drain out the tank and waste unnecessary time. So I decided to clean just the fuel pump strainer and return the fuel sending unit like I'm doing here. So after driving the vehicle for a couple of days and with very little gasoline in the tank, I'm going to take the system apart again and then clean out the interior of the tank. Obviously, with that much grit in the tank, the strainer is likely to get clogged, and that will be the likely cause of the bucking or stalling situation I was having at 5,000 RPM. So the lesson from this is if you're having stalling issues that way, it may just be some grit or dirt in the tank and not necessarily a failing fuel pump. So I'm putting everything back together, and in the next video I'll show the whole cleaning process and get that over with. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, leave me a like, remember to share the video with your friends. Also leave a comment, what would you do in this situation? So looking forward to hearing from you. Catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.